Hi, my name is Jordan. This is my Severino tag code. This is just the code for my Bitmoji copied from other assignments. So let's get into the actual code of the program. So I set four variables, the spawn amounts of how many Bitmojis we're going to be using. So the program called or the assignment calls for 50. Then three empty arrays that we will use to push certain amounts in at a later time. So then we get into our first for loop. I set a random variable I equals 0, I is less than spawn amount, I plus plus, Bitmoji X push, Bitmoji Y push, and Bitmoji speed push. Basically, it's the term push. It is just pushing one of these randomized amounts into the array. Yeah, it's basically just pushing random amounts into the array at whatever time. Any number in between -10, 0 to 400, and y 1 and 2 respectively, based on each one of the things that is pushing in, each one of the arrays that is being pushed into. So then we get into the draw function. Background is set to white. We draw an ellipse that follows the mouse X and mouse Y, and we set it to 50 pixels wide and long. Then we get into our second for loop, another random variable, L equals 0, L less than spawn amount, L plus plus, etc. Bitmoji Y array L is less than 400, and if Bitmoji XL is greater than 400, basically what it is doing is if the Bitmoji is greater than 400 pixels, so like if we were to look at this Bitmoji right here, once it crosses the plane of 400 pixels, it gets reset to one of these numbers right here. The Bitmoji speed is then set randomized from 1 to 2, and the location is also set randomized from -20 to 40. The same thing happens here. So once it crosses the plane, it basically just gets reset to a different location with a different number in terms of speed and distance. So some of these might get start off at 40 and get spawned here, while others might get spawned in, like, let's say this general area, -20, and then eventually just roll in with whatever speed they were assigned. Then we get into our variable mouse clicked function. So basically, this is just so when I click the mouse, anything within the circumference of this particular eclipse or this circle will get pushed to this right here. So the Bitmoji Y K equals 500. What this is doing here is if this mouse is clicked on top of one of these Bitmojis or the circumference of this circle, the Y of that Bitmoji gets moved to 500. So it will get pushed off the screen because this is a 400 by 400 program. So if I was to click any one of these Bitmojis or any amount of these Bitmojis that happen to be in the circumference while I'm like when I click it, it basically just the Y just gets moved off screen so that I can no longer see them. And yeah, that basically concludes my Severino tag code. Thank you for listening.